This week on the Dirthead Shed, we're hitting the road across America and hunting for hot rod parts along the way. We need stuff for the little green guac and roll. It is almost July 2025, and I just dropped off the wife and kids at the in-laws. They spend basically 3 weeks to 4 weeks out there every summer. This year we took the truck and the camper, went to the redwoods, went along the Oregon coast, cruised across the Midwest, got to visit for a little bit, dropped them off, and now it's time to head home. I got to be at work on Monday, and it is currently Thursday afternoon. We've got some miles to cover. I think I'm a little bit over 2,000 miles from home right now, but I've got an addiction to the Facebook Marketplace, so we're gonna go look at some car parts here in a minute, and then after that I got a couple other cool surprises. So this one should be pretty fun. Hopefully we can find some American hot rod nostalgia along the way, I guess you could say. All right, let's roll. We got miles to make. You gotta love the Midwest. It's fine when you're moving, but man, you stop and try and work in this heat, and it is nasty. I gotta make it right here. You know how it goes, every time you travel, you gotta change your settings on Facebook Marketplace so you know what all the good parts are around. And I found a pretty good deal on some wheels in northern Indiana. So we are heading south, about to cross the Michiana border, and we're going to be checking this stuff out. Hopefully these wheels are in better condition than most of the cars are around here, because man, they salt the roads pretty bad in the winter, and I totally understand why everybody's jealous of the West Coast vehicles or the Southern or Texas vehicles, because man, they are clean compared to the stuff here in Michigan and Indiana and Iowa. All right, let's go see what we found. First, we gotta gas this thing up. I am 57 miles to empty. The dually with this big camper on it is getting 9.3 miles per gallon. Not bad. This thing's a little bit of a overweight pig, and it's doing fine by my standards. I think it's all good. Off to Indiana. This is cool. What a great little town. This is LaGrange, probably LaGrange, Indiana. It's really cool cruising the smaller towns, especially as we're getting close to 4th of July. Everybody's got a bunch of pride. All right, there goes LaGrange. Somebody's gonna yell at me for how I said the name, but we're rolling out of here. We got another 15 minutes south, and we should be able to check out these wheels that I'm picking up. Cool international pickup with a camper. All right, I think we're about here. I'm not gonna show the person's house just because I haven't talked to them or asked if I could film there or anything, but I'll let you guys know what we pick up. And if there's anything cool I can't live without. Yeah, it's a newer neighborhood. That's not always great when it comes to finding old car parts. All right, I just got done being a poor negotiator. Check these out, Set of 15x8 true spokes. The chrome's a little wonky on them. Not really sure, but they're good enough to throw on one of my cars. They'll shine up good and look cool. 15x8s, they're multi-lug, 5-lug pattern. I think it'll go 5 on 4.5 to 5 on 5. So the plan is to throw these on my 56 Merc, because I kind of like the way true spokes and white walls look together, especially on those 50s cars, and it'll brighten it up a lot. So I'm gonna throw these in the rig and we will hit the road. That was a score. I'm also hauling back a couple of old dressers that were my wife's great aunt's. That's part of the deal when you travel across country with an empty motorhome or camper on the way back. You gotta haul junk with you. Let me get the other wheels. There we go. My living quarters are getting smaller, but we're dragging home some true spokes. Heck yeah. And some random furniture that I didn't know I needed. All right, that makes me happy. That makes the wife happy. I gotta hit the road. We got more places to stop. Having to use the mic that's on my GoPro. I didn't grab my other mics quick enough. Check this out. Check it out. The Mississippi River. You know you're crossing country when you're driving over the Mississippi River. How rad is that? Love it. I made it through Chicago, made it through some crazy storms in Illinois, and now we're crossing over into Iowa. I'm gonna stop at the next available spot, top this puppy up, and then head off to my friend Yeti's place. He's kind of in the middle of Iowa, and he has a really cool collection of cars and projects and all kinds of stuff. So we should be able to get there. It's gonna be late, like 9 o'clock, but hopefully at least check out his projects and all the stuff he's got going on. All right, find gas. Step 1, find gas. I just drove through an absolutely wild storm, thunder and lightning and pouring down rain and blowing in circles, and now it's just awesome out here. I'm about 15 miles from my buddy's place. We'll get there and hang out. I don't know if I'm gonna shoot some stuff this morning or tonight or in the morning, but I'll show you what Yeti's all about or what he's up to. All right, more of the sunset. Look at that. A few more minutes on the road and I'll be done for the day. Check those out. It's the next morning. I made it all the way to the middle of Iowa. Oh, let's get on out of here and check out the Yeti Built shop. The Yeti Built shop. Check this thing out. There's storms out here like crazy, so this stuff's all covered up right now. But this is the Yeti Built TJ. This is actually a rig that my friend built back in the day, 2005 or so, 2004 or so. And he's actually a friend of mine from back in San Diego. Now he's living out here in the Midwest and building cool rigs still. Let's go check out what he's got going on. Crazy contraption, kind of a school bus party cabin. Looks like a party barge on wheels. And then the super cool throwback Ford Ranger. It's super cool. It's got all the right style to it. All right, let's go check on Yeti. It's early, and he knew that I had an appointment later on today, so I think he's already up and cooking. Oh yeah, shop cat. The cat's super skittish of me. I don't blame you. Check this out. Got the
Good morning.
Morning. Dang.
Little venison homemade breakfast sausage I put together a couple months ago.
Dang. The corn tortillas.
Yeah, some scrambled eggs and maybe some salsa and make little breakfast tacos or something. What do you think?
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Coffee?
Yeah, I definitely need coffee. I've been drinking water.
All right. Coffee's water's boiling, and then when you're ready, just do a pour over, pour it down that bad boy.
Cool. Heck yeah. You said venison sausage?
Yes, sir.
This is way different than the Jimmy Dean stuff I had at mother-in-law's house yesterday morning.
Yeah. Corn-fed Iowa deer.
Yeah.
I'll let you chop up and grab what you want. Make yourself a taco. There's some plates.
Got the Valentinos. This is like the least greasy sausage I've ever.
It's super lean.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times I'll even cook it in butter because of that, you know what I mean?
So, yeah, a couple weeks ago I was back in San Diego, and like my first stop was Roberto's. Oh, cat.
Sorry to go again.
Little buddy. That area I'm at, there's like a bunch of San Diego heads that are up there. It's like old BMX guys and old car guys. Bunch of us have ended up there.
That's awesome. Out where you're at?
Yeah. All right. It's time to chow down. All right. We're going to go for a rip on the mini bikes. One of these days, I'm going to come back and we're going to do some BMX stuff.
Yeah, it was hard for me not to pull the BMX bikes down, but I'm like, I don't want to huff. I don't want to send you home or on the way sweaty. This will be your work ride.
That one's serious. Is that a Predator 6.5?
No, that's the little 49cc one. Yeah, it's
Thing's dope.
Predator 212 Hemi.
Uh-huh. Hey, this thing's gonna rip.
You're gonna love it. It has like 0 brakes, so
Perfect.
I would suggest wearing your flip-flops.
Yeah. Let me shut this thing up. There we go.
Oh, it's like a centrifugal clutch style.
Yeah. Without a helmet on. Small town, Iowa. Loud motorcycle. Shut them down before the cops get here. Sick. All right, I gotta hit the road. So Yeti, thanks for the rip on the bikes. Thanks for breakfast. Thanks for letting me crash in the front yard. All right, I'm gonna pack it up and hit the road. I got more hot rod stuff to do. It was good seeing Yeti again. It's been years. He actually used to live down in San Diego and would come by my old shop way back in the day. So it's kind of trippy where everybody ends up. He's out here in the middle of Iowa and I'm up in the inland Northwest. So we all kind of like, everybody sort of scatters about, but if you get a chance to travel, you can go and see him again. So give him a follow on Instagram. It's Yeti Norvell, and on YouTube he's trying to kick off his Yeti Built page. Pretty cool. He's always doing cool builds and working on cool rigs and going on trips and all that. So he's also going to be heading out to the West Coast here in the next few months. So maybe I'll get a chance to get him by my shop. All right, next stop, we're gonna head west and hopefully get to Lincoln, Nebraska by lunchtime. We made the 4-hour journey to Lincoln, Nebraska, and I think we're only about a mile away from Speedway Motors. Speedway's been a company that I've worked with like for years. From back when I had my old shop, I used to have accounts with them. And it sounds like the facilities are really cool out here, and they built a humongous Speedy Bill Smith museum that's like a must-do if you're in the area. So let's go roll in and see what we can come up with. Looks like I need to take a right here at this light. Looks like they're setting up for something out here. Oh my gosh, this place is huge. They must be. Well, I guess it is Friday afternoon. Probably got some car stuff going on. This is great. This is perfect. There's the Museum of American Speed. This is gonna be cool. Looks like a school is probably cruising in. This is exciting. Let's go check it out. I need steering arms for my hot rod. That's it. That's all I need. Look at the Mustang over there looking good. All right. This looks like, there we go. This should be where I need to be. A little bit of history right here. Speedy Bill Smith, he's the one who started Speedway Motors. And this stuff all kind of came from the early racing history. Look at this stuff, it's so cool. and transformed into more like hot rods, street rods and stuff like that. Very cool. All right, waiting for a guy that I'm supposed to meet up with, Joe. Look at this, 30s, 40s, and 50s, stock car racing. That's the good stuff. This is great. All right, I'm waiting for a guy, Joe, who's been my contact here for a little while. Ooh, dang. Kidding me? 53, 54 Ford. That thing is so good. All right, Joe should be here in a minute.
Or the stock car fan.
15-inch.
The 15-inch, the old steel, the old school riveted one.
Need that. Can't have an electric fan on that car. The seat covers I was looking for, I think you got the backs in stock. Dude, we got seat covers and steering wheels. Are these the steering arms?
Yes.
Heck yeah. That's going to help this thing out. So right now they've got the flat steering arms on it, the plate ones, and like the bump stop for the steering to the frame is the brake hose. It's pretty ideal. So definitely some room for improvement. This is rad. And that's the mechanical fan. We can get rid of the old electric fan noisemaker. This is the header kit.
And the header kit, you got it.
Dang. Those are nice.
12 Y block header flanges.
Yeah. Can't get those at O'Reilly right now.
Right?
That's pretty cool. And they're like 3/8 like laser
Yeah,
cut.
they're nice. And these are mufflers. These are the insert. Are
Yep.
these the just the augers, or are these the
3-inch
ones
augers.
Getting the behind the scenes tour. 57 Chevy, 71 Camaro. That's a 71?
something like that?
70, 70 and a half. So cool. Joe's driver.
This is our R&D mule
Yeah,
junkyard, where
this
if
is
we need
great.
something to test fit, we keep them back here.
And mini bike track. All right, we're gonna head over to the museum and check that out. There you go, Camaro front clip. This thing's cool. What's the story on this truck?
I built this with my dad when I was in college. And it was a 3/4 ton long box, and I just had to have a 67 to 72 short box. So we shortened it and found a box in the junkyard, and it's just been kind of been my driver ever since then.
That's awesome.
And it's one of those, because of all the memories that I have of building it with my dad, it's one of those that I'll just kind of hang on to forever. Now I got memories driving my kids around in it.
Perfect.
I love it.
That's nice. Quiet.
There are nicer C10s out there, but
Yeah.
I kind of like this one.
Mandatory vice grip window crank. Dig it.
That's been on the to-do list for like 15 years at this point.
There we go. Super cool. This is the spot to go for t-shirts as well. Holy cow.
So this is all kind of an expansion.
Uh-huh.
There isn't fully curated yet. It's still kind of a flex space where they move stuff in and out.
Yeah.
But here's all the land speed cars.
Oh
That's
my
the
gosh.
Spirit of America, like the Spirit of America. Beach Boys song and all
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. It's so crazy. It's not even like comprehensible how you go about building these things.
Well, and this was the one I was telling you about, the former curator.
Oh my
His buddies
God.
just started laying out tubing on the shop floor.
Yeah.
And this is what they came up with. And it was for a while, this was the world's fastest small block Chevy.
Really?
They ended up going 400 something in it, and just scratch built this whole thing.
I've been around the land speed stuff. Like I started building a 71 Ford pickup to run in the stock mod class. And I never finished it. I joined the San Diego Roadster Club and put in time out there at El Mirage, but never actually followed through with it. So like all of this is amazing to me. It's crazy. It's just packed in there. That is so cool. Need to build like a clear body for that thing.
Yeah. Right.
This is some of the stuff that I found so interesting. Like when I first started getting into this, where guys were just cheating the rules, where you got to have like a Model T body, but there's nothing that says you have to sit where the Model T is. So you're sitting up in front of the body, like that would be the cowl and firewall of the original tub, but the whole like cockpit to drive from is up front. It's just like, this is the biggest form of like altering the rules or figuring out the rules so that you can go a little bit faster. That's probably any form of racing, but it's just this like evolves so much all the time. Here we go. Kidding me?
So this is the Herzog Off-Road Gallery, and then these are Speedway Motors cars that they ran at Pikes Peak in the 80s and 90s. And
This,
then some of the Unser collection is as we go on here.
I gotta go look at this Chevy. So this was a Pikes Peak truck, right?
I think this was Pikes Peak, and I think
Oh my God. You kidding me? Sandy Cone axles in this thing? He lives right up the street from my buddy Fred. This thing is great.
you're gonna recognize that truck.
Oh yeah, oh man. This is awesome. These are 33 1050s, I think. Tall skinnies. Why don't I have one of these yet? Bronco 2s are so cool. It's got the later model Explorer front end on it. How built is this thing? It's just on bent and reinforced stock beams. Old. I'm not gonna try and say I know whose shocks those are, because I don't know whose they are. This thing is bad.
I want to say that when GM did the 4200 inline six, they worked with the Herzogs to do these cars to kind of show that they had like some potential in motorsport. So that's what, like, that was these three. I think that's
These all have the 4200 in
I
them?
think they do, yeah.
Oh wow. That's something that
They
is,
call that the Atlas.
yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. That's recently, does it? It's something I've recently been interested in, but I haven't really. Yeah, they say it's like the American Barra motor, right?
I love this truck.
Oh my gosh, the old AutoFab drop center hood. Mom Spaghetti needs, they have one for the bullnose Ford that I really want to get.
What did
But
you say the brand was?
AutoFab.
Okay.
It's a shop down in Santee, California. And you can still get the drop center hoods for the square bodies and a few of the Ford trucks. This thing's rad. Super cool. So my bullnose Ford is, the end goal is for it to be like a vintage desert race look, but actually be a rock crawler, you know. But this is kind of the end goal. Oh dang, Frank Vessel's truck. What? Didn't this just sell, or the Chevy sold, the one with the wing on the roof? Oh, so good. Nerding out, snorting Norton. This is actually a Pontiac, isn't it? Or is?
You know, it seems like there's
No, it's a. I thought that the original version was a Pontiac, but it's got like Nova stuff on it now.
So everything that we have on it says that it's like a 71 Nova, but then like we did a video on it and said it was a 71 Nova, and guys were like, no, that's a later Nova. So I think that it might be one of those deals where it's been rebodied a couple times,
Yeah,
and so
well,
who knows what it actually is.
Race cars tend to get the crap beat out of them. This is so good. Cage tie-in. Oh, we need more of this. More of this. Oh my gosh, look at this. This is just absolutely wild. No A pillar, no B pillar. Frenched antennas into the front of the roof. This is insane.
This was a guy who worked for Daryl Starbird started it.
Yeah.
And then Dave Stuckey was his name, and then it evolved from like this, you know,
Yeah.
just a
God, that
channel
that thing's
sedan.
bitching as is.
As he was working for Starbird, they were just constantly messing with it.
Yeah.
And then finally got to the cantilever roof, crazy version. And then it had a bunch of different versions. It almost burned to the ground once. And it had this kind of this crazy life as a show car. And then it got returned to the most famous version that was, you know, the model kit.
Oh, that's awesome. Love it. All the 97s painted candy gold. What a cool ride. People don't do this anymore. not on a normal basis, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Well, yeah, and he drove that thing around. Like, when it was like that, he was,
Yeah.
rodding it around Wichita, Kansas, you know, like...
I went to the KKOA Lead Sled Spectacular in 2000 was the last time I went to that. But the Midwest builds some of the coolest customs, and it's like Starbird is kind of the originator of that scene out here, which is pretty cool. What a rad car. Crazy. Look at the upholstery. Like, this is something I've also wanted to build as an altered wheelbase 60s car. I would love to just start with like a rusty pile and work my way through it and build an altered wheelbase. That's where the rear wheels are moved forward, the quarter panel's cut and moved forward, and these were this was sort of the start of the funny car era, right?
Yep.
The front wheels pushed way forward. What a rad vehicle. Chrome roll bar.
Yeah.
What a cool piece. It's amazing how like the Corvettes were so popular for customizing early on.
Yeah.
And then it's like that version of them just sort of fell off at some point in time.
There you go, the Cosmo Ray, right? Like,
Yeah.
That was like the cool thing, you know?
So wild. Yeah, and then you get into like the 80s and it was like you wouldn't even think to doing something wild to one of these cars. Pretty cool. One of Ed Roth's old cars, or a whole collection from Ed Roth. Some wild times.
This was a Riddler winner. This guy here.
Really?
It was Top Banana, is what it was called. The Alexander Brothers built that.
No way. That's wild that was a Riddler winner.
Right? 1969 or something like that. That's what it took to win the Riddler.
Huh. People were probably losing their minds over that thing.
Yeah.
That's cool. Love the old billet wheels on here. They were getting down. So much to learn. Mainly, I just want to go home and figure out how to paint better. Like, I can understand the painting and the graphics and all that, but like spending the money on these engines and the parts, it's just mind-boggling. Like, look at this thing. What is this?
I think that might be a Offenhauser or a Miller or some version of that.
So crazy. Chrome leaf spring. Ah, it's so good. All right, I'm gonna have to hit the road. I got 300 miles or so I gotta make tonight. I appreciate the cruise through the museum.
Thanks for coming.
Heck yeah, super
Doors
good
are
time.
open anytime.
Right on. I'll be back.
There's a lot more to see.
Shake your hand.
Oh hey, I like your hat.
Thank you. Awesome.
Derek will like that. I'm Dave.
Corey.
Hey, nice to meet you guys. All right, I'm out of here. I got miles to make. Check that out. Getting to do a little dirt roading. Today's been pretty good. Got to go ride mini bikes this morning and have breakfast with my buddy Yeti. Got to hang out at Speedway and picked up some parts. I almost had a bird fly in here. Got to go to Speedway and pick up some parts for the hot rod and get the tour of the museum. What a rad day. Now I am taking this dirt road and currently my buddy Mark's calling. I gotta grab this. We're gonna go find a campsite over here. Check that beauty out. I've already burned a tank of gas. It is Saturday. I'm in Chugwater, Wyoming, and had to stop and look at some cool cars. I'm seeing a 62 Biscayne 4-door back there in the bushes, but I don't want to poke around without any permission. So what a cool little old service station though. Neat little town. I got to start making some miles. I don't know if I'm going to make it home all the way today or if it's going to take me 2, but you got to stop and check out the cool spots along the way. This guy's got an old Willys pickup out front. He's got some old tractors, all kinds of cool stuff. All right, let's make some miles. It is beautiful out here. Wyoming's one of my favorite states. And I kind of want to poke around and take some back roads while I'm here. We'll go this way. Oh my gosh. First turn, and I found cool cars. First turn. Looks like a 63 Galaxy wagon up here. Looks like 55 Chevy, 55 Chevy, 55 Chevy. Oh my gosh. Some Volkswagens. There's all kinds of cool, oh, 2-door posts. How cool is that? Oh my gosh. And an OBS Ford. I'm over on the other side. There's another 55 Chevy. This is too cool. Old Model A body over there, 2-door sedan. Come on. Ah, I love it. Old military ambulance. Monte Carlos. All right. I'm gonna stop filming other people's stuff before I talk to somebody. What a cool spot. What a cool spot. Ah, what's over there? All right, I'm gonna poke around for a little bit. Hopefully he comes out and wants to talk, doesn't chase me off. Rad. We're cruising off into the sunset. I'm in Montana right now. We're kind of like between Billings and Bozeman. This is like the coolest part of the drive. Got the Yellowstone River over here on the right. Probably can't see it, but man, it is just beautiful out here. This is actually I'm about 7 miles outside of Big Timber. Just a really cool area. I'm gonna keep rolling into the night and probably camp out somewhere around Bozeman. We'll see. It's like 8 o'clock right now. I don't really feel like pushing. If I were to drive straight home, I wouldn't get home till about 3 in the morning at this point. So I think I'll probably just like find a campsite or a rest stop or something and finish this up in the morning. But in the meantime, I need to just cherish this drive because it is so good. All right, I'll let you know where I camp. Ah, look at the river. So good. So I ended up driving pretty late last night, and I got up to this Pipestone area, Pipestone and Homestake, and there's a lake up here. And it's a cool camping spot that I've used before. It's right off of I-90 at Continental Divide. It's a rad spot. I just got done kind of rolling out of bed and cleaning up enough to get out of here. The place is just a mess of hot rod parts and dressers and things that I'm hauling home. Metal flake steering wheel, that should go on the floor because that's where it's going to end up anyways. That's the key. Don't put stuff up high because it all ends up down there anyways. That's why all my junk is like on the floor. All right, let's pack it up. It's 6:30 in the morning. I need to get some coffee and some fuel and get out of here. Let's see if any of these other campers are up yet. Gotta be quiet. Oh yeah, there's some guys getting ready to go for a ride. Pretty rad spot. I stayed up here once before on my way back home from an Ultimate Adventure and just camped out of my Mazda with my tent cot up here. It's a neat spot. It is a neat spot. All right, remember that, Dave. Homestake. up outside of Butte. Bring the dirt bike, go explore some more trails. Right now I gotta get home. Dude, look at that camp spot with all the rocks over there. How rad is that? Ah, this place is awesome. Ooh, cold start on the old 7.3. Ooh, here we go. Mediocre cold start on the 7.3. Piece of cake. All right, let's roll. We got out of camp quick, got right onto the highway. We're making miles already. It's only 7 in the morning, and I'm heading west, which is good. There's a gas station in 29 miles that's got my favorite sunflower seed brand, and they've got good coffee and gas. So we're gonna run down the highway, get all juiced up there. Pretty cool to be able to use the onX app though, the onX off-road app, and check out, like, maybe you have a camp spot like that you've been going to for years, and you can like jump on there and be like, oh dang, there are trails all around here. Maybe next time I need to bring my dirt bike, or next time I need to bring my Jeep. So that was pretty cool. I found that there's a moose. No, that was an elk. Ugh, hate that. Somebody whacked something big last night in their car. Anywho, it's really cool to be able to like maybe find this spot that you've camped at before or you've wanted to check out, and you can jump on there and be like, oh dang, like this place, you can zoom out and be like, oh, there's a lake quarter mile up the road. Next time I need to bring my boat. Or you can be like, dang, look at the trails everywhere. Next time I'm bringing my dirt bike. Myself, I want to just like jump in Mom's Spaghetti or that new Nissan that I got and just come out here and explore. I think the goal is to like set up that little Nissan so that it's a good sort of overland camper, to where I can go to a spot like that but go a little farther out and set up camp and be comfortable and be in something smaller than like this big old truck camper, so that if I need to maneuver through the trees a little bit more, it's no big deal. But anywho, that's my thought on that. Is I have lived up in this area for 7 years now, and I do not explore enough. It probably looks like I'm getting out a lot, but man, I feel like I'm like so behind on learning the area, and the onX app's going to help me with that. So you can go over to onxmaps.com, go to the off-road site, order up the app. It's a subscription based. If you type in Dirthead at checkout, you'll get a little bit of a break. But if you also go back and you check like near, if you go back and you check near holidays, like right now it is almost the 4th of July, and they are going to have a huge holiday sale for the 4th of July. So give it a look, and if you can save a few bucks by using Dirthead at checkout, that's cool. If you can save a bunch of bucks by waiting until a major holiday or something, that's even better. And go enjoy the outdoors. I'm loving it. Right now I wish I was in something smaller and camp farther out. Instead I'm on the highway. Going home. I gotta check on Hazel. My neighbor AJ's been watching her for like 11 days now. I feel so bad. Thanks, AJ. All right, I'm gassed up. It might be for the final time. And then I ran in and got my coffee. And check this out. Wild Dutchman sunflower seeds. These are the bomb. They're like made in South Dakota. Also got a breakfast burrito. They're South Dakota made sunflower seeds, and you can't seem to get them anywhere other than like in those surrounding states. So this Conoco in Deer Lodge, Montana is the farthest west that I've found them. Let's hit the road. Hopefully we're done stopping. I do need to check Marketplace, make sure there's no hot rod stuff that I have to have in Deer Lodge, Montana though. I made it back to the Dirthead shed, safe and sound. That was a pretty rad trip across country, picking up cool parts along the way. Got some used True spokes that are in really good condition. Those are gonna go on my 56 Merc if all goes well. And then all those Speedway Motors parts are for the 29 Roadster pickup. So really fun trip. It's always good to like make a family vacation into and sort of a hot rod experience or car experience or trucks or whatever you're into. Stoked to have come home with a pretty good score. I will see you guys next week. I'm gonna go get in there, clean up the camper, make sure everything's still in good working condition for the next trip out. See you guys next week.